Welcome to another episode of Grand Piano Truth. My name is Siyabonga, your host. Over there, Tlantla Mapoho, my co-host, and James on the camera. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks, Sia.
Shabman, today we've got a very special guest. Let me just give you just a little profile about him. Shoot to prominence whilst conducting Pumlani Choral Choir in Mpumalanga, and accolades, most appearance in NCF standard category in Mpumalanga, and national champ of SACMA post office with a female voice there, and the national champ PEU, also participated in HAGMA and Metropolitan. Currently, he's freelancing at and analyzing program director. Let's welcome you with Vuyani Mpafa. Yes. Vuyani Mpafa, welcome to the show.
Yeah, okay. Hi, guys. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, Jabulela, man, for the opportunity to come and share my little knowledge about music.
Yes.
I appreciate the invite.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Vuyani, before we go to the music, where's Vuyani Mpafa coming from? Originally.
Yeah, okay. Ekaya kusa Colesberg.
Colesberg.
Yeah, I come from Colesberg. I grew up in Colesberg.
Colesberg is in Eastern Cape.
It's in the Northern Cape.
Northern Cape.
Yeah, on your way to Cape Town.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Northern Cape.
Yeah, that's my hometown. But there's a story behind me being born either in the Eastern Cape or in the Northern Cape.
Yes.
So I was actually born in the Eastern Cape.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an Eastern Caper by birth.
Where exactly in the Eastern Cape?
I was born in a place called Beggersdorp.
Oh, okay.
Just outside Alwal North.
Yeah, I see Beggersdorp.
Kusekhaya eBeggersdorp.
Okay.
Kulapho inkaba yami yawa khona.
Yes.
Okay.
I was born in Beggersdorp. I grew up in Beggersdorp until the age of about 7. Mm-hmm. Then my parents moved to Colesberg.
Okay.
And I grew up in Colesberg. Hence, Colesberg is my permanent home.
Yeah.
But I've got 2 homes. Whenever I am down there, I always go to Beggersdorp.
Yes.
I have full-blown family there.
Okay.
So I was born in the Eastern Cape. So xa ndikezelwa ngalamaXhosa ase Eastern Cape wasemculweni. And I normally say andinoyiki because now I am just an Eastern Caper myself.
Yes.
Ningazon bullish.
Yeah.
You want anizuqasha.
Yeah.
Because I am
originally from Eastern Cape.
Then would Vuyani Tibenepi no music, choral music general.
I met choral music Epostile.
A Colesberg.
Yes, a Colesberg. Yes. So my everything else that I'm going to talk about.
Ngumzalwane.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I was born and baptized in the Old Apostolic Church.
Okay.
Zalelwe khona umculo ndadibana nawo khona. And I want to make an example. If you look at social media, there are kids.
Yes.
Sometimes coming from that church.
Yes.
That you would see mama babo ekshina nabo.
Yes.
And some
Bakhenza,
yes. And some would be conducting.
Yeah.
Action.
I am that kid.
Okay.
I always see myself in those kids.
True.
Because that's what I used to do when I grew up in church.
Yes.
I used to be that kid where action at the age of 3, at the age of 5. And so I propelled, or the system, the church system, propelled myself to becoming a conductor within the church system, the youth, and then got promoted to senior youth within the church system.
Yes.
So I grew up in Colesberg. I met music in church and progressed through the ranks of the church itself.
Yes.
Maybe you would tell me if but when I talk about the church and the progression, my routine in conducting is no different to many conductors that have been produced by that particular church.
Yes.
And sometimes I go as far as saying the Old Apostolic Church, through its contribution in the choral landscape South Africa wide, is an institution.
80% of the choristers are from the Old Apostolic Church.
Yes. Exactly. So we can claim a stake in the choral discourse of this country.
True.
Insofar as how our church has played a role to propel choral music countrywide in this country. So my route, my way into this space is no different than Vumile Nomanyama, Lala Nomanyama, the late Bonagele Mafenyane from Queenstown, may his soul rest in peace, Tikolo, all those guys who came from the Old Apostolic stable. And I can count them until sunset. Bozugo Mahlaba, who's in Germany. I used to sing in the Sunday school choir, Nozugo Mahlaba in Beggarstone.
Okay.
Makatiana doing great things from Old Apostle.
Bongani Makatiana. Do I count more?
They are countless.
Right.
They are countless.
So that particular system, the church system, has propelled many of us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And took us to the world. And Siambe, Sihlwaele Imbeo. So I came through that system. And from that system, obviously, I went through the schooling system as well.
Okay.
But with my passion and everything else that I had, because ecaweni sasikhawuleza ukufundiswa into enomculo sisebancinci, to the extent that when you are at school, in school choirs, besifika sibe clever ukudlula abanye abakhonza kwezinye inkonzo where the type of music is not necessarily practiced. And the teachers in our time, or in my time, the choirs that I sang for in school, the teachers would mainly rely kuti, because sibamba ngoku uyabona siyakhawuleza ukubamba. And that is why I'm saying that system is a system this country, the choral cause of this country, must always be grateful for the role the church, the Old Apostolic Church, has played in propelling choral music in this country. And if there's somebody who wants to dispute that, he must come with me. Let's go and have a cup of coffee. I'll pay for the coffee and I will give them a good.
No, I can't differ with you, because even me, I'm coming from Old Apostle. I've got the love of music there.
Okay, guys, you know what? Okay, I don't care who says what about what you have said. I remember that when we were growing, especially in the high school, most of the choristers in especially your senior choirs were from the churches. But I can tell you that in our school, that is in Mohlakeng, that's where I started singing. In Mohlakeng, the Old Apostolics had a competition in a Methodist church. People, and then Tina again, as the Old Apostolics, we knew ukuthi sibetha njani, because it was not only indaba ye-note. So they ended up calling us we. It's like we profited according to our church.
Yes.
Ukuthi, something just came up in my mind when I pressed here last night to say, you know what? One of the days I'm going to invite one of our overseers because he pushed the way choral or umculo uye wasibamba ngakhona esontweni. I'm thankful for the church, because if it was not for the church, when James, you also agree with me or argue with me to say it kept us in terms of discipline and away from the streets or away from the mischievous whatever things that we could do. You understand?
Enough
So I'm very
about
grateful.
Christian.
Yeah.
Enough about old now. But Vuyani, then what takes you to Pretoria?
Oh, what brings me to Pretoria? Let's go. Before I came to Pretoria, I started in Mpumalanga.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's where the Pumula choral choir thing is all about. Let's just put that into perspective.
Oh, okay.
I started my career in the mining industry.
Okay.
In Mpumalanga, the coal mining sector.
Yeah.
In Mpumalanga, brilliant time I had in that space. Whilst I was in that particular area, I happened to conduct a choir called Pumula Choral Choir.
Choral, yes.
Right?
Yes.
And everything else that we spoke about and everything else that I did in choral music was when I was conducting the choir in Mpumalanga called the Pumula Choral Choir.
Okay.
And with that choir, we went, if you allow me, we went competing in many competitions.
Okay.
Right? We competed in the post office competitions.
Yes.
In the whereby in 1 year the female won position 1 nationally.
Okay.
We became the national champs in Kondlo Kamkabai.
Yes.
We became the national champs in that category. But besides that, every other year we were participating in the National Choir Festival.
Yes.
I left with the most appearances at the national level.
At the national level.
Of the Old Mutual National Choir Festival within the standard category. I think Africa Sings, conducted by Upra George Mshala, they were always there for the large category, and we were always there for the standard category. And whilst I was conducting Gakona Le Mpumalanga, Ipumula Choral, we won what was then known like the Professional Educators Union Eisteddford.
Yes, I was going
Okay.
to ask what is PEU.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know
Yes,
Peu.
I know Peu.
Yes.
Yes.
At one time, Mpangeni in Bizo Hall, we won the national champs of that competition.
Okay.
We became the national champions. EPSS that same year became the national champs in the large category. They were conducted by Siabulela Bede.
Okay.
For some reason, Uprala Vanyaza did not go down to Mpangeni that weekend. So Siabulela Bede was conducting PSS. You know Siabulela Bede?
I don't know.
No, you don't know him. Good musician. So once we won the standard category, the PSS won the large
The large
category.
section. Okay.
Right. But then we proceeded, we participated in Khakma. Every year we would come and participate in Khakma.
Yes.
There was a competition in the East Rand back then called the Metropolitan Choral Eisteddford, led by Ubabu Lutumo Makangani.
Okay.
We were always there participating in that competition.
Yeah.
Then there came a time as to how I end up in Pretoria.
Yes.
Then there came a time where I changed professions or companies.
Yes.
And I decided just before the 2010 World Cup, there was a buzz in South Africa, and I decided I want to change Iskundla.
Okay.
And then I landed in Gauteng.
Okay.
So I landed in Gauteng through a change of jobs and wanting to move away from Mpumalanga. And that's how I ended in Pretoria.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go straight now to our discussion. You've been a conductor. And you are following choral music even now. And there are challenges that are facing conductors in choral music. That is the issue of discipline among the choristers, choir management framework, choirs becoming dormant. How can we prevent those things?
Okay, let's start with the discipline. Let's start with the discipline.
Yes.
As a conductor, first, you need to be someone who's disciplined yourself.
Okay, true.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
If you are not disciplined as a conductor, as a leader, because a conductor is a leader,
He's a leader.
right? You would not find or being a choir or a follower with discipline when you are ill-disciplined. So if you want to inculcate a discipline in your choir, you need to be someone who's organized, someone who leads by example, someone that your choir, the choristers, generally respect
Yes.
and they look up to. And it is through your own self-behavioral patterns as an individual
Yeah.
that the rest of the choir can actually follow
Follow.
and be as disciplined. Umzagel, when you say, this is what I used to do, late coming, rehearsal,
Yeah.
is an issue of discipline. If you say to choristers, our rehearsal starts at 5:30, you need to be there 10, 15 minutes before everybody else.
Yeah. Yes.
You almost need to be the gatekeeper who goes and open up the door.
Yeah.
For when the choristers come, they must find you there. You must be relaxed. You must have had a moment of silence with your own music. I used to go and just park my car and take the music inside my car
Just go.
and browse through
Yeah.
and know exactly when I go into the rehearsal, this is where my rehearsal is going to start.
Yes,
So discipline starts in small things like that. Timekeeping, right? How you
Your conduct.
your
when-
conduct as a conductor.
Yeah.
How you speak to these people. Remember, some of them are young, some of them your age, some of them are
Older
old.
than you
Yeah.
now.
So that I'm not a politician, guys. No?
No.
But the decorum, you know that word.
Yeah.
I'm a politician.
Yeah.
The decorum that you keep in your rehearsal is the decorum that's going to reflect the discipline of your choir.
Of your choir.
And it starts with you by small things like leading by example.
Example, team player.
Team player, teamwork.
Yeah.
Be a father figure, man.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
Be a mentor, be a father figure, be that person that your choristers can come to you about this and the other problem.
Yeah.
And they feel free. Uguti, you're not going to lambast them, you are not going to embarrass them. Instead, uzawuba.
Babe comfortable now, but in a proper manner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then is it a right thing to include choristers in a management let's say
In the management
structure, yeah.
Of a choir.
Yeah.
There's no wrong or right about it.
Okay.
I'll tell you what my idea is. It is based on the ability and the capacity of the individuals that must be in that committee or management committee. I would assume that when you elect people into a managerial or a committee role in a choir, you are doing that based on the competencies or the skill set
Okay.
that you have identified from these people. Ukuthi Usia is a good organizer.
Yeah.
So if we want to get things going, Ukasin Usia in this committee, Usia is that guy that makes things happen. Right?
Yeah.
Yes, we chorister, but if he's got that ability, right?
Yeah.
And let's say you are a marketer,
Yes.
you are what is the word? PROs,
You are a PRO maybe by profession when as an individual, but at the same time you are a chorister. So what you do is you can transfer your skills and your experience also benefit a choir.
You could not have said it any better than me.
No, I get it.
You could never have said it any better. And if I want to repeat that, there's emotion.
From there, how do we control the movement of the choristers from this choir to another choir? Because they do that anytime.
There's something in our constitution called freedom of association and freedom of movement. We could never regulate that or control that. People are free to go where they want to go, and people are free to move, even change jobs generally from one company to the other. What I can say choirs need to be doing in order to eliminate the exodus of choristers from their choirs is to have good retention strategies.
Yes.
As a choir.
As a choir.
Make it appealing for your choristers to want to be here. I don't know how, but make it appealing. People must want to belong to that your choir, right? People must feel uneasy within themselves. Ukuthi ashiyiphumula ayoculela enye choir, because the environment apha ekhaya is so enabling. It is so nice, it is so welcoming. We are family. Through how the committee, how everybody else, the interaction, the camaraderie, the brotherlyhood. That's the only thing you can do to try and retain choristers than to blocking them literally when they want to go and calling them names when they go and join another choir. It's not needed. Be innovative. Find retention strategies internally that are going to enable your choristers not to want to belong anywhere else but here.
So I think, as you say, a choir iqala within, and now we end up having choir splits.
Yeah,
we understand, and that thing we once talked about it to say how. Sibona uPravido bheka lamos kuphumula harmonies, but hardly 6 months isekala phansi, or lo choir does not exist anymore. This choir ibe national champions ngo-2022, but ngo-2023 that choir does not exist. How could we do that? Because we answer, and then I will just tell you exactly what do I think.
Sorry about that.
Excuse me.
You're talking about natural split in choirs, where people cross. It's like in politics, where people cross floor crossing, right? Which is
others
also,
they die.
Yeah, others they die.
The Abasa exist.
Like mine. When I relocated out of Mpumalanga, my choir fizzled out because the leadership glue and that held it all together.
Okay.
Moved base.
The pillar is nowhere now.
And the pillar was no more. Okay, that's a discussion. Let me get back to your question. Floor crossing is a political phenomenon. Sometimes yenziwa by leadership conflicts.
Okay.
Internally within the choir.
Yes.
Asivani, like kuchiwi mali.
Yeah.
Like abanye abantu asizazi mali zekwaya ziyaphi.
Exactly.
There is no accountability. And abantu benziwa nje inkomo ezediphini. Ngenani ningabuzi xa ubuza uthetha kakhulu wena uphume ngalamnyango. Come on, guys.
Yeah, it can't.
You understand, ne?
Yeah.
Na lo ingathi unombono nyana yazi ntoni ne? I started this choir.
Yeah, so he or she can tell.
I started this choir, so you are not going to come and dictate as to how it needs to be run.
Yeah.
If you are not happy here, the door is wide open.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, there are choirs in this time and age who do that. And that also contributes to people thinking, hey, these people are not feeding me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So bazongitshela.
But yazin, rather keep your choir and kill.
Yeah.
So that is why you see these things across. Even people going to start
Their own choirs.
their own choirs because ndindoda ndingumfazi andizogezelwa enye indoda andizogezelwa ngomnye umfazi.
Yeah.
And more so, I am a conductor. I can start my own other choir.
I've got
And
experience.
I've got experience.
Yeah.
I've got the capacity to do this thing.
Yeah.
This one must keep the choir yakhe.
Yeah.
So those things for me, zizinto that can be sorted out through communication, through transparency, management, collaboration,
Yes.
openness, when you do things, rather than kubekho inkunzi kaminos apha kule committee yenu. It's either his or her word. And if uthetha kakhulu, it's like, hey bhuti, ingathi uzafuneka usidedele. Yeah.
Then how can we professionalize our community choirs?
Well, professionalism or turning choirs into being professional.
Turning them into.
Being professional it's a broad concept. Guys, come on. Professionalism is
It's a broad
It's a
concept.
very broad concept. So maybe we need to keep it within the context on how do we run our choirs to the extent that we at least try to be as professional as possible within the context of what we are doing.
Yeah.
Right.
So
How do we do that?
So in doing so, I don't know. My view is to say, first of all, our choirs as organizations, they are not they are not legal entities. It's like because even now, nama society, ama clubs, ama society now, they've got ama constitutions, ne? And then they are bound ama constitutions as ama society. They know that they meet on monthly basis. But with our choirs, you come to harmonic whatever voices. There's no constitution. Okay, even if you corner the legal part of it, what binds me kulo constitution? Because that choir is there. And then your legalities, they are not even registered like, as maybe others as NPO, NGOs, or as companies. Don't you think if we go that route, it could help? But now, breaking it down further, we sort of ifem ezoqasha.
Okay, let's
Except our institutions, especially our educational institutions.
let's go back a step.
Yeah.
So that we can contextualize this professionalization or professionalism within choirs.
Yes.
Let's go back a step and talk about the concept of beginning a choir or starting a choir.
Yeah.
Because that is where it all begins.
Yeah.
The objectives for which in the very first place, this particular thing called harmony singers or Pomula Choral, let me make that example.
Yeah.
In case I get into trouble when I mention the when you start Pomula Choral, and I know it even now, even this thing goes way back. We had what we call a constitution.
Yes.
Choir.
Yes.
Now, that particular constitution had objectives in it.
Yeah.
The very first page said objectives. Why do we exist as a choir?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And in that, I remember in my choir, we, amongst other reasons, we had something that said, we want to create social cohesion and assisting our communities, our youth in our communities, take them away from drugs and all other ills and give them something worthwhile.
Yes.
To the extent that some of them may carve a career in this thing called music.
Okay.
I'm paraphrasing those
Yeah,
objectives.
yeah,
The choir,
Yes.
right? I'm paraphrasing them.
Yeah.
But within that, we are doing this within the context of understanding we are not an income generating institution.
Yes.
So by virtue of that, we are doing this thing as as recreation,
Okay.
as pastime, as there's a word in the liberal line. We are doing this thing to be out of bottom, if you want,
Yeah.
right? It's recreation, it's entertainment, right?
Yes.
But when you do that, you then need to say, as the choir, it
Yeah.
inama needs that it needs to fulfill.
Yes.
Yabona?
Yes.
Now, how do you fulfill those needs when you've got this choir that does not have an income that it generates? So when you want to talk professionalism, I think it is broad. It talks about the behavior of the people,
Yes.
how as an institution you want to do what is it that you want to achieve, and how do you go about and putting a concerted effort to achieving those kind of things.
Yes.
Right. Because sometimes professionalism is confined to saying, I go to work, I get paid.
Yeah.
In choirs, my choir again, we had application forms,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
We had application forms. Xa ufika ugcwalisa form.
Yes.
Ukuthi igama lakho ngubani, the next of kin, ngubani, emergency, ugogo wakho, mama wakho. And I had a file.
Yeah.
Or we had a file with all the names of the choirs, of the choristers that belong to us. And that was somehow a contract between us
And the
and the chorister. And remember, within that social movement, it would not be as legalistic as a contract of employment, for instance.
Yeah.
It was just a one-pager that says, you belong here, and what are the things that bind us together at that social level.
It was sort of formality.
Yes.
Okay.
Then Pavito, there's this thing of corporates that are distancing themselves from choral industry. How can we attract them so that they can sponsor or support choral industry?
You're talking to someone who's very, very familiar with the workings in the corporate space, sponsorships, etc. At some point in my life, way back, I used to sit in a committee, a CSI committee, right? Where people write and to this committee, and they want money, and we would sit and look at these things.
Okay.
We've got a cabbage garden somewhere, and
yes,
and we would sit and adjudicate between imali yembewu ne-kawash and people abathi sicela soccer kit.
Yes.
I in my life I used to sit in those committees that decide. So this is what I want to tell you. I hope a lot of people are going to take note of this. When you sit in that committee, you decide who are you going to give money to, for what purpose. You link that with what the return in investment is to you as a company.
Okay.
Not gain necessarily. But when we do this, we give choral music, ipumula choral choir, 20,000, right? What is it that we as a company are likely to gain, not gain?
Even financially.
What's in it for us in doing that? That's number one. Number two, when there's us abacela imali yebus sifuna ukucula eSwatini, right? And there's equally an application from an old age home. And ogogo nomkhulu in that old age home bathi silala singatyanga. Right?
Yeah.
Now, sitting in that committee, the deciding committee, right?
Yeah.
Between giving you or buying you a soccer kit and providing for the old age home
Yeah.
where the elderly go to bed hungry.
Yeah.
Where are your priorities?
Old age.
Exactly. So I'm just trying to put context
Yes.
into the aspect of sponsorship.
Yes.
It's very deep. It's not like Asfuni. Corporate companies, they have their priorities, they have their objectives, there's certain things they want to achieve. So before they give anyone money, they link that with their internal corporate strategy, corporate objectives,
Mission,
and how
whatever, vision.
mission, vision,
Yeah.
and how that giving money to NCF
Yes.
links with Old Mutual, the company.
And maybe in terms of sustainability for even that person or that group that you are funding.
I'm probably going to get into trouble to say this, but I'm going to say it.
Say it, bro.
The Old Mutual National Choir Festival,
Yeah.
when that festival was started in 1978, it was sponsored at the backdrop that the Old Mutual Company was making a killing
Okay.
out of insurances
Oh,
that the
they were
black market,
signing.
people who were joining
Yeah. Yeah.
insurance.
Yeah.
You remember back in the day
I remember.
where there were reps going around and you had a teacher
Yeah.
who left teaching
Yeah.
to go and join the insurance brigade.
Yeah.
Because it
And
was
they made a
lucrative.
killing those people.
It was a lucrative,
Yeah.
and this guy wayela as a school in Nyawo, and he joins insurance and he drives a brand new car. And other teachers are envying him. Usebenza an Old Mutual.
Yeah.
He's an insurance salesperson or rep.
Yeah.
You know that type.
Yes.
Now, the National Choir Festival, Old Mutual,
Okay.
saw that market
Yeah.
within black communities
Yeah.
as a thriving market.
As an opportunity for
To the
all.
extent that they extended the hand to sponsor,
Yeah.
because they had a huge market out of that.
Okay.
But fast forward, right?
Yes.
To where we are now.
Yeah.
You can join an insurance on your phone.
Yeah.
So it is not as glamorous and revenue generating that particular space as it used to be when they joined that
Because there
particular
are
frame.
many service providers.
There's a lot of service providers out of that. So from where they're sitting now, that particular project,
It's dead.
No, I get you, Prophet.
so it's the value add proposition that I'm talking about.
Yes,
What's in it for now, for us now,
Yeah.
over the past 40 years that we've been doing this thing. Senzile, Kwanele, necessarily.
Yeah. I think it is when you end up so because I'm talking about I think the reason why they're making I think even Namanje they would make imali Old Mutual asiyekele uzangibuza kanjani because of indaba yama competitions others they feel ukuthi ama competitions kwi choral sector yiwo abulala amakhwaya
Lies.
and it's not true.
Lies.
Yeah.
I am glad that you introduced that topic of competitions killing choral music
Yes.
and killing choirs.
Yeah.
It's lies.
True.
It's short-sightedness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Short-sightedness. I'll tell you why. Kawi choir, you exist. The other day you were talking with Sidwell. I watched that.
Yeah.
And Sidwell put it so clear that you can't as a choir exist to participate in competitions.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Only.
Yeah.
And your sole purpose as a choir, for you to make music, the only time you ever get together to make music, it's when there is something, there's a carrot dangled called competition.
Competitions.
Yes.
Then your purpose of making music is hugely misplaced, is misdirected. At best, it does not fulfill any long-term sustaining musical objective. It's a competition machinery.
Yes.
What is my belief? And I've gotten into trouble with this. Over the years, I've gotten into trouble with this. But here is my game.
Yeah,
A balance is required.
it is.
There must be a time when you go for competition,
Yeah.
but there must be a time where you do music outside the competition space. Festivals, like Sidwell does with Gauteng Choristers.
Yes.
That's a brilliant example of what the balance I'm talking about is to be about.
Yeah.
Follow the GC model.
Yeah.
You are home and dry.
Yeah.
And all our choirs, if they followed the GC model,
Aye.
this country would have choral music throughout the 12 months. Because sizaya kweye GC ngoku,
Yeah.
siye kweye banibani ngoku,
Yes.
and then nabo bodwa,
Yeah.
they will collaborate.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Basibizele arena, basibizele Joburg Theatre,
We
outside the competition space.
Yes.
And this is what gets me into trouble. I will want to allow me to do this.
Do so.
There was a year, I will never forget that year. At the Linde Auditorium,
Okay.
Gauteng Choristers, Voices of the Nation, Kopando Chorus, and Sound of the Nation. You remember that concert?
Yes.
You remember that concert?
Yes.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Like
when it was happening.
I did remember.
In that concert, they performed Amaculo Gaba, the late Professor Mzansi Kumalo.
Yeah.
He was acknowledged in that concert.
Yeah.
And the late Pelelani Mnomi. Right? And it was held here in Parktown. The 4 choirs at the Linda Auditorium Festival. Babu Kumalo acknowledged.
Yeah.
Right? Nomia acknowledged. It's the best concert I attended in my entire life.
Yeah.
Bra Ndimdala.
Yeah.
I've been in this choral music for at least 30 years.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There is never a concert in my entire life that I attended that was as fulfilling, as musical, like that one.
That one.
Right?
Yeah.
But let me tell you what they did not do.
Okay.
And this is what gets me into trouble.
Yeah.
I would have expected that they would leverage from that concert.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The concert was organized by Sing Africa Sing, Imizwili Liupra Alimpof.
Okay.
They were the organizers of the
Yeah.
concert.
Yeah.
Where the opportunity was missed by these big 4
yes.
guns
Yeah.
was to adopt that concept.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Adopt the concept and make it their own. Because someone had given them a concept.
All right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They would have taken that thing, made it their own, and every year invited us into a concert of that kind.
Of that kind.
It would have been a trademark concert.
An annual event.
It would have been an annual event that no choral-loving person
Will miss
in
it.
Gauteng
Yeah.
and the neighboring
Yeah,
provinces
will miss
would
it.
want to miss. It's an opportunity that was missed.
Yes.
And bankwatela mangichu.
But it's true.
But it is what it is.
yeah.
And these 4 choirs are
Yeah.
big brand names in South
South
Africa.
Exactly.
So if they did that,
Yeah.
they would even incorporate and co-opt other choirs from a Free State,
Yeah.
or Free State choristers, the Northwest serenaders.
Yeah.
They would co-opt other choirs into that as an annual mass choir festival.
Yeah.
And that thing would have become this big.
Yeah.
But you see where the opportunities are, and we lose them.
Yeah.
These people from these big 4 would have had a meeting outside that the PRO Yangapa, the PRO Yangapa,
Yeah.
the chairperson Yangapa, the chairperson Yangapa, all of them coming together and saying, guys,
Yeah.
how do we take this thing further?
Yeah.
That opportunity was missed.
Just to chip in there, Pravit, why are we as choral fraternity not attracting the big media houses like your SABC? ETV, and all these big houses.
Okay, I will tell you why. Because we are this tiny in the big scheme of things. We are this tiny in the big. The choral community is a very tiny community in the bigger scheme of things in this country. You can't compare us with soccer. You can't even compare us with
Hip hop.
Okay, David.
Yeah.
Okay, before you continue, I hear you. Now, I want you to break it down for me. Maybe and you, James, as the media people, ne? Mina as a layman, we media. I'm saying we are also big. And if we are not big enough, we do have a potential of being big like others. Why I'm saying that, remember, right here, Standard Bank Arena, Siba full, ama ticket abe sold out. And the advert corner, it was not aired on daily basis like other events. We'll talk with them, promotion it's done, advertising is done vigorously. But Tina, abantu choral music, you'll find that because we know our finals will be on this day in Gauteng. Then iba into a full house. I don't know what you understand that.
I understand you. May I chip in?
Yes, please.
The capacity of the Standard Bank Arena is 2,000. Full capacity. I know it. 2,000.
But we start somewhere.
If it's sold out, it's 2,000 tickets.
Yes.
No.
So if it's sold out, it's 2,000. That's the capacity of the.
And then a lot of people are being turned away.
No. Wait. Let's say you turn away another 1,000.
Yeah.
So it's 3,000.
2,000.
Still, it's nothing.
Okay. So what is that in terms of big, full-blown media coverage?
Okay.
That I'm just demonstrating.
No. Yes, I hear.
As an example.
Yeah.
But again.
Yeah.
People who get coverage.
Yeah.
By media, they follow the story, they follow the news. There's constant this, there's constant that.
Okay.
The event that we're talking about, it's a once-off event in a year. And some of them, they even forget it.
Yes.
And if it clashes with the ANC conference
Or a Derby, Soweto Derby.
in Nazareth, what is that place?
Nazareth,
Yeah,
yes.
that one. If it clashes with that, it's like there's no other event.
Yeah.
If there's a derby in that weekend,
Yeah.
it's like there's no other event.
Yeah.
If there is I don't know, there's a Dr. Dumi concert
Yeah.
Yes.
at the Dome.
Yeah. Or your Choral celebration.
Celebration.
Yeah.
We can't even compete with those, right? But let me tell you why you can't compete up with the Choral celebration, amongst other reasons.
Yeah.
It is the constant resilience and them being active throughout the year
Yeah. Thank you.
that makes them relevant.
Yeah.
And continuously
Yeah.
supported because they are here.
Yeah.
There's a time when Tina Sialibalek in City Vumbu December
That's true.
and Spindis, and then we go to exile. Spindis City Vumbu December. So those kind of things, we can't blame nobody else. Guti abasinating ando.
Or whatever. Yeah, we
must
can't
blame ourselves. Guti, the way we are managing choral music amongst ourselves is bad.
And kuzanento ukuthi okay, we also touch in the professionalism, ne? Okay, the word or the term professionalism is very broad. Now there's an issue that's been raised, of which for me it forms a part of professionalism, whereby our composers they feel that they need to be paid for their music. Your rights, your royalties, your copyrights and stuff like that.
You guys want to get me into trouble?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Firstly, I am for the idea that composers must be paid for their work.
Okay.
I agree. I concur.
Yeah.
Because it's their intellectual property.
True.
Indeed.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
So they must be paid for their work.
Yeah.
The only problem that I have with it is it is dependent on the individual to decide as to the price of their music that you need to sing. Ukuba ngaba ndi-composer mna,
Yeah.
you want to sing my song
Yeah.
in a competition.
Yeah.
And I tell you, ndifuna 25,000 rands. This is my song. You take it or you leave it. And that competition ayizukwenzeka
Yeah.
if you're going to sing my song without paying me my 25,000. This is me.
Yeah.
And then Usia says, Mina,
Nizangibhayela ikhuli. Nizangibhayela ikhuli.
you can give me 10 grand.
Yeah.
So Usia.
Yeah.
Remember, Usia is a composer.
Njengawe.
And when people start saying you must charge,
Yeah.
the poor Sia akanayo i-benchmark
Yeah.
yokucharger.
Yeah.
So he charges based on inhliziyo yakhe enhle,
Yeah.
based on inhliziyo yakhe ukuthi understand kangakanani i-culture yasemakhwayeni, to the extent that choirs do not have money.
Yeah.
And then anzwele athi 10,000. Wena ulinyora wena.
Yeah.
Ubatla challenge. 30,000, take it or leave it. So my problem with it becomes those inconsistencies.
Yeah.
To saying, how do you arrive at the 30,000?
Yeah.
Yes.
How do you arrive at the 10,000
Yeah.
per my song?
So, yeah.
That's the on. So if it is properly regulated,
Yeah.
for people to not charge like the tendering system.
Exorbitant. Yeah.
Like the tendering system, where you go, you tender for something, you find a corrupt official that inflates the prices,
Yeah.
so that azokhona ubuya azofumana ingxenye.
Yeah.
We can't do that.
We can't.
Right? So the long and the short of my answer, composers must charge, but them charging needs to be regulated,
Yeah.
such that people don't charge at a whim based on their own discretion on how important they think their music is. Yes, it is, but you can't. If you go to Ifemeli Mangali,
Yeah.
may his soul rest in peace, is one of my favorite composers, Adelaide, in the Eastern Cape.
Yes.
You go there, uyocela iculo, and the old man is no longer there.
Yes.
Kukho unkosikazi wakhe, kukho umfana wakhe, and they say to you, hayi bantwana bam, senizawubona nisikhalisa njani.
Kanjani. Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nizawubona nisikhalisa kanjani, because umqambi wayenza lento out of love, engafuni ukwenza mali,
Mali.
ehambisa isiphiwo sakhe sikaThixo.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Kodwa ke ningabona. So you need to balance all of that between people who say, just give me what you think is reasonable, and people who are going to be saying, this is how much I need.
Uthola Mr. Mpafa
I just
uthi
want to ask Ndladla if
Yeah.
are we also is choral fraternity regulated to SAMRO?
Okay, I'm not going to sit here and purport I know the workings around SAMRO.
Okay.
And the royalties and all of that.
Yes.
It's a subject, it's a topic I have not researched.
Okay.
And I'll be honest with it.
Yeah.
But me thinking, logic telling me, SAMRO should be playing a role.
A role.
To what extent, I don't want to venture into it, lest I give misguided comments and I give misleading comments. I have not researched that. But I do know that somehow there is a role that SAMRO needs to be paying.
Yeah.
Whether when you sing my song, I must go to SAMRO and say these people sang my song in that program, therefore you SAMRO must pay me.
Yeah.
I am not really sure. Okanye, the composers themselves, maybe they know, maybe they know, but the process is the SAMRO to processing payments
Yes.
take forever, so they go for the easy way by charging directly from the user.
Then
It could be, I don't know. Like I say, I have not researched that topic,
we
so
have to
let me not
research
venture into it.
yeah, because now kuvela nendaba ye programs ezidlala on radio stations.
Yes.
Ezidlala choral.
Yes.
I wonder, are they paying to SAMRO or
Ama royalties and stuff like
kwenzeka
that.
njani?
I will not venture into it.
I think finally see follow up because You see, choral sector. Okay, we've talked about choristers, your behavior and stuff like that, and to say how can they make themselves sort of professional artists or noguti yabaziwe and baphile ngayo, understand? Now, there's also this part. Oguti, it also becomes a problem in the whole system. Choral music, kuba ne element what do they say? Subjectivity. The issue of adjudication. That is done by these warm bodies. I'm gonna say this.
So far, private.
Puza manzi David.
Can I drink?
Drink water. Just listen to me. I once raised this issue on Facebook. Somebody said to me, "What am I saying to the nation?" I said, "I'm asking a question."
And the question was?
The question was, especially the top I'm a competition or events. Your NCF, your melting pot, Ziba for 2 days. We have large and standard sections.
With big prizes, yeah.
There are prizes. So today, David, see I performer today. Already kuna adjudicators. Kulala kuphume ama results or ku adjudicate. Lesa ama results phuma.
Day one.
Day one. Lama results lawo enzwe ku day one alala kubani. Whereby a combine in the next day now ka day 2. Alala aphetho ubani.
Ndingena class.
Ngena.
At the forefront of the topic that you are raising,
Yes.
there are undertones of mistrust.
Yes.
Yes.
True.
At the forefront,
Yes.
you don't trust the system.
Yes.
There are suggestions or undertones of upkirigichan.
Yes.
Right. That's so let's deal with that
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
And then we deal with the results themselves being a subjective
Yeah.
matter.
Yes.
So let me answer the question. The organizers of a competition, call it Old Mutual, call it Melting Pot, call it Post Office, SACMA,
Yeah.
they have a structure.
Okay.
They have a head of music that has the responsibility to safekeep and safeguard the integrity of the results
Okay.
that are to be produced over the 2 days.
Okay.
So it is logical to contend that the head of music, whatever he's called, is the person that does the safekeeping
Yes. Yes.
of the results.
Yes.
Because this person it's his responsibility.
Yes.
It's like kuthiwa
It's
isikhiyase
clear.
safe.
Yeah.
Sigcinwa ngubani.
Yeah.
So I want to submit that the head of the music, head of adjudication panel,
Yeah.
ulala nazo erumini yakhe on day 1 as a results.
Okay.
Practically speaking.
Okay. That's a practice. Practice.
No,
Yeah.
it's practical. So
Yes.
that's the Standard Bank Arena.
Yeah. Yeah.
Saturday goes, finish, and all those results are taken together. And once they're taken together, day 1 is done. Those results are either given to the head of the music or the head of project, or Zilala Erumin Kabandile or Zilala Erumin Gatamizungu. It doesn't matter. But there's somebody that keeps them overnight.
Yes.
Who has the responsibility and the appointed responsibility to keep them.
Yeah.
So Vuyani Mpafa is lalapi, ne?
Yes.
And then the next day,
The next part. What is Lala go Brasia
yeah,
as the head? Sam Truster.
yeah.
Okay. See, because I
No,
paid
no,
her
no,
late.
but no. I'll talk to that. I will talk to that. Ordinarily,
Yeah.
when you give somebody such a responsibility,
Sam Truster.
you give that person such a responsibility on the basis that they they are trustworthy.
Yes, that's true.
They are professional in their conduct.
Yeah.
They are ethical in their conduct.
Yeah.
That assumption is a natural assumption to draw.
Yes.
And you would have no reason to want to doubt that particular person or nalama results endlini yakhe when you never have had some kind of mischief reported about the person.
The person, yeah.
Okay.
So I tend to trust the system. For me, what is the issue is what goes into those score sheets
Yes.
that produce the results.
Yes.
One, when you put people, because firstly, our results that are being queried are queried against what is written and issued by the adjudicator vis-a-vis a choir, the audience that have a different opinion about these results.
Yes.
Now, ndingumXhosa ne kukho intetha in isiXhosa that goes indlebe aziphakelani.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
There is no stage in time when I hear a choir sing. I hear alike.
Njengami. True.
Right?
True.
What they sing appeals differently to me as it would appeal to you.
Okay.
But what is important when all three of us are adjudicators is what I call that there must be some level of parity.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
That center point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Proportionality.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what needs to happen. So the results that get queried in competitions, most of the competitions that I go to, you find out that people believe the adjudicators missed it because they love the choir, obviously, and so on.
Yeah.
But it does not start there with me. With me, it starts with, and I'm talking as a conductor now.
Yes.
I've received tons and tons and tons of scripts written by adjudicators.
Yes.
So where does it start in order to try and eliminate the subjectivity in results? It starts with that which the adjudicators produce.
Okay.
On that piece of paper that they give you as a score sheet, it's like your assignment marks from your lecturer.
Yes, your results,
Yeah. When you sit there as an adjudicator, you start writing down comments on that piece of paper. You need to get to a state of mind and a stage where you ask yourself that this thing endibhalayo apha ndizayinikeza uMphafa nechoir yakhe.
Yes.
If it was to be written for me, would I make sense out of it?
Okay.
As an adjudicator.
Yeah.
Does this thing that I'm writing here in assessing the performance, Mpafa, does it make sense? At that level, don't take it any higher than that.
Yeah.
As Advocate Vuyani Mpafa would say, I won't take it any higher than that. Right?
Yeah.
Keep it at a level that says, esi score sheet endisibhala apha, umntu osifundayo, will that person make head or tail of it?
Okay.
Exactly.
At that level.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you don't even need to include the Italian jargon because our music is predominantly Italian dominated.
Yeah.
No, you don't need that. You need to write it in a legible language where a layman person, and this amfundela ekwaleni, feedback, they would have an appreciation with utinu mem, utinu tisha kulenda ibhale apha.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So that's where it starts.
Yeah.
So for you to be able to get that, there are three dynamics I suggest adjudicators should possess.
Okay.
Three.
Yeah.
And this is just me thinking.
That's you, yeah.
The first one, in no particular order. The first one, you need competence.
Yeah.
You need capacity. You need qualification. All in one.
Yeah.
This is one.
Yeah.
Qualification, competence, and capacity.
Capacity.
And capacity talks to the very same thing that I have explained here.
Yes.
And it must be somebody who has an appreciation of the technical nature of the music and so on and so on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The second thing, you need professionalism.
Yes.
And just at the plain level, professionalism, at a simplistic level.
Yeah.
And this is hard. This is hard. The last one.
Yeah.
You need adjudicators with ethical conduct.
Yes.
Ethical conduct at every turn when you go to adjudicate and you get the privilege to be appointed to go and adjudicate. Ethical conduct. Don't go there uthwele ikhwaya la ebuzi. Kunabantu baya kuma competition bayo adjudicator umuntu uthwele ikhwaya la.
Sekayazi ukuthi ile number 1 yeah.
Umuntu uthwele ikhwaya la, and for me that's hugely unethical. Hugely. Now I used to adjudicate and I still adjudicate when I am called.
Yes.
Let me demonstrate this ethical conduct I'm talking about.
Okay.
I was adjudicating a calling some years ago.
Yes.
So I was seated where Usia is seated.
Yeah.
There was a lady in the center. There was this old man this side.
Yeah.
So the lady was a scribe for us.
Okay.
We are adjudicating our number score.
Yeah.
And the choirs came. Now they came and we continued feeding into the scribe, Apala, Tini, until this one moment, a particular choir was coming onto the stage.
Yeah.
And then one of our panel members, Quilta,
Yeah. He what?
and started getting excited,
Yeah.
literally.
Okay.
Hey, nizamuzwa ke untombazana lo. Nizamuzwa untombazana.
Adjudicate.
The adjudicator esihleli naye etafuleni.
Uzayiphethe ngemhloko.
Nizamuzwa ke lo. Uyashaya intombazana.
Yeah.
Okay, asimazi intombazana.
Asimazi. Yeah.
Simazi. But this guy usitshela ukuthi intombazana uyashaya. And you can see the excitement.
Okay.
Right? Now we just keep quiet so silalele. Ukuthi intombazana azoshaya.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then this person starts. Angenu mem. And then in anticipation of what we have been told. Yeah, intombazana yashaya intombazana.
Yeah.
From Bawan,
Yeah.
just when the kids open their mouth,
Yeah.
they sing off tune from the very first beat. Right?
Yeah.
And so the entire performance is marred by intonation problems.
Yo.
And I mean entire performance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yangenia Puma, a wing. I felt for the kids first.
Yeah.
As a conductor myself, but ma'am, this is wrong.
Yeah.
Because you didn't teach these kids this song properly. Abantwana balazi nokulazi kakuhle eliculo. Ne?
Yeah.
But amongst ourselves here,
Ukhona umprisa.
kunomuntu obhodlayo ukuthi uzamuzwa intombazana. I was never so disappointed.
Yeah.
Yabona? Now, if you take that against my saying when you are an adjudicator, you need to have a huge degree of professionalism and ethical conduct.
Yeah.
And all we did with the two of us was like, Helela lap.
Yeah.
And not entertain good yasha.
Yes.
When we actually think this performance is way below par. But the principle I'm explaining is these adjudicators walk into a competition atwele ikwayala ikhala.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
That's wrong.
It's simply wrong. It doesn't matter what your association is with
the
Vuyani
choir.
Mpafa outside the stage, in the music. Everyone knows everyone.
Yes.
Sibraya sonke.
Yeah.
But if I go to a competition, right?
It's a different ball.
It's a different ball game. I go to competitions. I have not been conducting for a long time.
Yeah.
And my friends, let's take my boy. I even call him my boy.
Yeah.
Monty, Kabelo from Kopano. Those I call my boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever they go and they sing, after performing
Yeah.
over the years,
Yeah.
they'll always come back to me and say, and then, yes. And I will tell them, I want to today, guys. I'll tell them, good time, today, guys. And I would give them honest, open
opinion
based on what I heard them sing.
Yeah.
Whether it wins a competition, whether it does not win a competition.
Yeah.
Even when they win a competition,
Yeah.
I would tell him, go and look at that, going forward.
True. And that's how you build them.
And sometimes,
Yeah.
he would phone me, Monty. He would phone me on a Monday.
Yeah.
But I was looking at my score sheets and some of the things that we were talking about.
They mentioned.
But they've mentioned in that score sheet that we were discussing after the competition without us even seeing the score sheets. So it's that openness, that frankness that is needed in order to eliminate the subjectivity of results.
Yes. Thank you, Professor. Let's take just two last questions from Rawanda.
Hey, Molo Vito. Kunjani uphilile kodwa mntaka Mpafa? I hope it's right. Wandile lo. Yeah, it's been a long time and kungasacommunicatwa, kungasabonwana, uyabona nje Vito man. Ungabikho ko NCF. No melting pot. Kwenze kwakhula ingca phakathi kwethu. Sisi practitioners zale sector ye choral music. Asisabonani sisithwe ilenca. Yeah, Vito man, I've got just only 2 questions for you, Mnenawam. Just only 2 questions for you. Question number 1, Vito. What shape would you, in your view, suggest that the choral sector should take in paving way towards industrializing the sector, that is the choral sector, and even making it an economic contributor and also an employment creator within and even outside the sector? Because ultimately, Vito, we need to industrialize this sector of choral music so that it becomes an economic contributor. It contributes finally towards the economic growth of the country. Not only that, and also create employment for people within and even outside the sector. So what shape would you suggest that can lead towards addressing those issues, Vito? Now, question number 2. After all the conversations and ideas, great ideas of course, that the grand piano with Sia shall have established with various choral practitioners like yourself, what would your suggestion be as part of a way forward towards fixing all the challenges that shall have been exposed or unearthed by the different guests in this platform, Ye Grand Piano with Sia? Because ultimately, Vito, we need Ogobanba. Right now, we are busy diagnosing where actually the problem is kule sector. But it won't help us to come up with the diagnosis and then not ultimately come up now with the healing session. Okay, let us heal this disease that we've diagnosed. So what I'm saying is that, Vito, what would your suggestion be as part of a way forward towards fixing those challenges? And currently the challenges esinazo within choral society. Ngicela nje uniphendule lezo questions, Vito. Thanks, give me now.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Rasia, those 2 questions, I think we've captured them. So can I make just one request? Because after those ones, sing some pray.
Yeah.
Now, a question that I want to find out: are you still conducting? And if you are still conducting, which choir are you conducting? And if you are no longer conducting, why are you no longer conducting? Or you doing manje the other jobs in terms of your education and
This guy,
part of that?
he just never wants to stop bribing me. Okay. Well, I am not conducting.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why I'm no longer conducting.
Yes.
It becomes a very emotional topic to me in the Bansa conduct. I was too close to Ipumula Choral Choir.
Yes.
That was my baby.
Okay.
I was too close to that choir.
Okay.
And when I relocated out of Mpumalanga to Gauteng, and it did not continue because of the distance.
Yes.
And I could not travel up and down. And in fact, amongst other reasons why Pumula just went this way, it's because my own family home,
Yes.
my house,
Yes.
was the clubhouse of the choir.
Okay.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I understand.
It
And I
was
know
the
that
clubhouse,
situation.
the naturena or the chlorkop
Yeah.
of the choir.
Yeah.
So when that base was moved, the whole choir, the foundation.
Yeah.
So why Ndingaxolisi? It is because after Ndiegile Xolisi Phumulo,
Yes.
I could not see myself conducting any other choir.
Okay. Okay.
I felt I would be a misfit everywhere else I go as a conductor,
As a conductor.
and conduct.
Yeah.
And I decided I'm not going to go and conduct no one.
Okay.
And I think it was also due to the emotional attachment
Yeah. That
to
you had.
that one,
Yeah.
to the extent that I didn't see me fitting anywhere else as a conductor.
As a conductor. Yeah.
But the other thing for me was that attached to that, winding as a
Yeah.
when I conducted, I used to say, I want to step down while maybe this is just personal pride and self-esteem talking. I want to stop at the time when my name as a conductor is still relevant.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
Dr. Kumalo once said, when people said to him, why are you taking retirement at the age of 36, 35? He said, angifuni bangiphonse ngama-apule namabanana.
Yeah.
Grounding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bathi lo mkhulu lo,
Yeah.
hambe ekhaya.
Yeah.
But for me, it was almost that principle. Yoguthi, I want, because of how hard I worked
Yeah.
to create the little recognition I got for myself,
Yes.
I was not prepared to flash it. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's just self-esteem talking, I don't know. But I was not prepared.
Yeah.
I was like, I must stop whilst my name is still
there.
relevant.
No.
I stopped.
No. And ngifuna ukuhlonipha for that. Yeah.
And then what am I doing now outside conducting? There will always be a conductor in me.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether I call myself a freelancer or I'm a lover of the art form. I go around whenever my expertise or the little knowledge
That you have.
the little knowledge, and trust you me, I've got very little knowledge on Kulwen.
Yeah.
I've got very, very limited knowledge on Kulwen. It's just that I pushed myself, I worked my socks off at the time I was a conductor to try and get good quality music out of my choir.
Okay.
But as for being a smart and highly technical conductor, Ben Forster me. Ben Forster, I'm not that person.
Yeah.
But I use that little knowledge at the moment to go and contribute where my knowledge and contribution is required.
Okay.
So if you've got a choir, mushaking, what, and you know, Mpafa, I think
Ukuthi nje atorimamela
and give me his opinion. And you pick up the phone, you call me and say, let's share music.
Yes.
And I call it sharing musical ideas.
Okay, that's great.
Where I am required, I go.
Yeah.
I don't impose myself to people's choirs. I don't.
Yeah.
I go to where I'm needed.
Yes.
and I go and I share my musical ideas.
Yes.
I go home.
Yeah.
And when there is an event, like there is an event in Tshwane,
Yes.
I go there, absorb the music, feed my soul,
That's all.
and go home.
Yeah.
Yolala.
Yeah.
That's what I do. And the other thing that I also do, when people say we've got an event, here is a mic, we want you to take the mic and direct this program for us. And I go and I contribute.
Yes.
But, and trust you me, I am happy with it. I am at my happiest space with how I go about in and around choral music. And I don't think I would take the stress choir anymore.
Okay, no, I get you.
So back to your
Let's quickly
question.
answer Mr. Makasan.
Yeah, Mr. Makasana's question, the one was, how do we shape this to can create even employment out of this?
Yes.
Guys, let's use the joyous celebration model
Yeah.
as an example.
Yes.
If we were to transport that into the choral music space, we would answer to the question,
Yes.
Mr. Makasan.
Yes.
Right? Because the people who are at the joyous celebration, they have created that environment to an extent that they have funds, the National Arts Council and MTN, they're putting money into that thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
To the extent that they can give stipend
To those people.
to those people. But you need to establish it
Yes.
to the extent that it can pay stipends
Yeah.
too. So unless Tina choral music, we've got choirs that want to go that far in establishing themselves and creating would-be employment opportunity to the extent that we can pay stipends, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And unless we change the mindset, and I don't want to repeat what I said in the beginning, of us being competition dependent.
Yes.
For as long as we are competition dependent,
not
we are not going to be able to create a choir that is a machinery
Yes.
that is so strong and so financially viable to be able to pay stipends to their choristers. It's not going to happen. So we must change the culture. We must change the narrative on how we run our choirs.
Perception.
And the perception and make them to be income generating
Yes.
in various forms.
Yes.
Because when you go to a competition, you are not going to generate income out of that one singular event that comes once a year.
You want to.
Right. And the last question was
In terms of the way forward.
the way forward out of what you guys are doing here. My suggestion would be, obviously, it's going to be up to you guys how you do this.
Okay.
Obviously, you are collating material here.
Yes. Yes.
There should come a point where all of these views, Mpafa said, Usidwell said,
Yes.
and the other one said, and the other one said, that all of this, it's almost like a workshop
Yeah.
where you take the ideas, you sift them, you consolidate, and you say, how do we then prioritize these ideas and have a rollout of a particular strategy to attain a particular delivery within our choral music space? So I will take that, watch as Kubuzwamna, and I will throw it back at you guys as the owners of the material.
Yes. Yes.
Uguti, how do you consolidate this material
Yes.
of the ideas in a practical space?
Yeah. That's true.
I think that we begin.
Just to chip in, this one I think's out of our conversation. How much do you get paid, guys, for MC?
It's private.
It's confidential. and maybe it also depends. It type because our lingana was now lama sponsor, they differ.
Now I'll tell you. Now I have done events for free. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you for free.
Yeah.
I have done choral events for free
Yes.
because of my notion to contribute.
Okay.
So I told myself it's probably my giving back to communities where some of these events I just say to people, yeah, I'm coming, I will help you. Pafas asna mali siyacela tokhana.
And then you just go there.
I go.
It's like we're giving back to the community.
Exactly.
You understand?
And here I'm talking startup projects.
Yes.
I'm talking startup. I may get into trouble in saying this, but I'm gonna say it.
Yes.
Because I'm always in trouble. When you say to me what the giving back notion for me has always been part of Mzansi because I'm giving back.
Yes.
I've done Khatma competition without being paid nothing.
Okay.
Because I know Abanamal. Right?
Yeah.
But my quest of wanting to see that program never die. Yenza ukuthi nami ndizinikele.
Yeah, true.
Right?
True.
I started the Tswane competition. I was the inaugural chairperson of that thing when none of the big gun program directors would take such a gig. These people did not have a cent in their bank balance. Osli Vuyani Mpafa ra ukupa. I went and I started their competition number 1. They are at number 6 now.
Number 6,
Number 1, I did it at no fee. No fee. Because the notion was, I am contributing.
Yes.
No.
Thank you, guys.
Now, Mr. Mpafa, we wish you all the best. We wish you all the best. And, the information that we got, especially this last part, the very, very, very last part, Ongnegeze homework. Look, James, the whole purpose, we know exactly where we are heading. You understand? But this last part, Ongnegeze homework, and the homework that you've given us, we're going to call you. We might call him here or call him privately to say, look, we have done our homework. Stella Uymark. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, guys. I'm also just honored to be on TV. And I was scared. I thought your cameras would jam when they see me, but it is
No.
But thank you very much.
Welcome.
Choral music, Indo yetu, sisonke. It can only take us to take it elsewhere. So wherever I can contribute, the little I can contribute, I will always contribute because this is my life.
Thank you.
Siyabulela kakhulu Pravito.
Thank you, guys.
Me, Nhlanhla and James, we're out. Sharp.
Cheers.